Today we're diving into a fascinating topic that can save you from some awkward moments while traveling. 25 American customs that are considered rude abroad. Cultural differences are intriguing, and being aware of them can make your travels smoother and more enjoyable. Let's get started. Number 1. Laughing with an open mouth. In Japan, laughing with your mouth open is seen as impolite because it displays your teeth prominently. It's more polite to cover your mouth when laughing to maintain modesty. This cultural nuance highlights Japan's emphasis on modesty and respect for others.
Number 2. Using the left hand.
In many cultures such as the Middle East, India and Africa, the left hand is traditionally reserved for hygiene purposes. Using it for eating or greeting can be considered offensive. Always use your right hand instead. This custom is deeply rooted in cultural traditions and religious practices. Number 3. Tipping. While tipping is standard in the US, it can be viewed as an insult in countries like Japan and South Korea. Workers in these cultures take pride in doing a good job and see tipping as unnecessary and offensive. Instead, they believe excellent service should be a given, not something that needs to be rewarded separately. Number 4. Raising a thumb up. A thumbs up gesture is friendly in the US, but in places like West Africa, Russia and Greece, it's equivalent to giving someone the middle finger. Be cautious with hand gestures. This is a perfect example of how a seemingly innocent gesture can have drastically different meanings across cultures.
Number 5. Sitting in the back seat of a taxi.
In Australia, New Zealand and parts of Europe, sitting in the back of a taxi can be seen as aloof or disrespectful. It's common to sit in the front seat to show equality and friendliness. This practice promotes a sense of camaraderie and equality between the driver and passenger. Number 6. Opening gifts immediately. In many Asian cultures, especially in China and India, opening a gift in front of the giver is considered greedy. It's more polite to open it later, away from the giver's presence. This custom shows restraint and modesty, avoiding any display of materialism.
Number 7. Showing skin.
In South Korea, it's unusual to see men shirtless in public, even at the beach. Additionally, showing the soles of your feet is offensive in many Arab, Muslim, Buddhist and Hindu cultures. This stems from religious and cultural beliefs that consider the feet the dirtiest part of the body. Number 8. Dressing too casually. Wearing flip-flops, sweatpants, or baseball caps in public is seen as sloppy and disrespectful in Japan and many European countries. Dress more formally to show respect. In these cultures, dressing well is a sign of respect for yourself and those around you. Number 9. Punctuality. Being on time is crucial in places like Germany. However, in many Latin American countries, arriving exactly on time can seem overly eager. Being fashionably late is often more acceptable. Understanding these differences can help you navigate social and business settings more smoothly. Number 10. Modifying meals. In countries with strong culinary traditions like France, Italy, Spain and Japan, adding extra condiments to your meal is seen as an insult to the chef. Enjoy the dish as it's served. This respect for culinary expertise highlights the pride these cultures take in their food traditions.
Number 11. Keeping shoes in indoors.
In many Asian and Caribbean cultures, it's customary to remove your shoes before entering someone's home to keep the indoor space clean. Always check if you need to take off your shoes. This practice emphasizes cleanliness and respect for the household. Number 12. Drinking someone else's alcohol. In Norway, it's rude to drink alcohol that you didn't bring yourself. On the other hand, in the US, it's common to share drinks at a party. Be mindful of local customs. This difference reflects varying attitudes towards hospitality and sharing. Number 13. Eating outside designated areas. In countries like Japan and Rwanda, eating outside of restaurants or designated dining areas is frowned upon. Eating while walking or on public transportation is particularly discouraged. This custom underscores the importance of respecting shared public spaces. Number 14. Telling guests to help themselves.
In many Asian cultures, the host is expected to serve the guests rather than letting them serve themselves. It shows attentiveness and respect for the guests. This practice highlights the importance of hospitality and care in these cultures.
Number 15. Refusing food. Declining food in some cultures, like in Lebanon, can be seen as offensive. Conversely, finishing every last bite in countries like China, Russia, and the Philippines may suggest you're still hungry and want more. Understanding these nuances can help you avoid offending your hosts.
Number 16. Calling the USA America.
In parts of Latin America, referring to the United States as America can be seen as dismissive of other countries in the Americas. They also identify as American. This is a reminder to be mindful of how terminology can impact national and regional identities.
Number 17. Being too informal with elders.
In many cultures, showing respect to elders through formal language and gestures is essential. This can be more relaxed in the US, but it's important to adapt to local rules. Using formal titles and greetings shows respect for the wisdom and experience of older generations. Number 18. Talking loudly. Americans often speak loudly in public places, which can be considered disruptive and rude in more reserved cultures like Japan and Finland. Try to keep your volume down. This practice promotes a peaceful and respectful public environment.
Number 19. Personal space.
Americans typically prefer more personal space compared to people in many other cultures, where closer physical proximity is normal and expected. Be aware of these differences. Respecting personal space can prevent discomfort and misunderstandings.
Number 20. Using first names immediately.
In many countries, using someone's first name right away can be seen as overly familiar and disrespectful. It's more common to use titles and last names until a closer relationship is established. This practice maintains a level of formality and respect in interactions. Number 21. Blowing your nose in public. In Japan and China, blowing your nose in public is considered very rude and unhygienic. It's better to excuse yourself to a restroom to do so. This custom emphasizes cleanliness and consideration for others. Number 22. Using public transportation etiquette. In places like Japan, talking on the phone or being loud on public transportation is considered very disrespectful to other passengers. Silence is golden on public transport. This ensures a quiet and comfortable environment for all passengers. Number 23. Pointing with your finger. In countries like China and Japan, pointing with your finger is considered rude. Instead, people gesture with their whole hand or use their chin to point. This practice avoids direct confrontation and is seen as more polite. Number 24. Public displays of affection. In many cultures, such as those in the Middle East and parts of Asia, public displays of affection like kissing and hugging are considered inappropriate. Be mindful of local sensibilities. Respecting these boundaries shows cultural awareness and sensitivity. And there you have it, 24 American customs that can be considered rude abroad. Understanding these cultural differences is key to being a respectful and considerate traveler. Have you encountered any of these customs while traveling? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more views from the world around us. Until next time, happy travels.